Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another session of Sustainable Saturday. Sustainable Saturday is a series where we have experts from different fields of environment and ecology and conservation who come and talk to us about different aspects of all of these topics. And for the same, today we have with us Himali Mohite. Himali is an enthusiastic and dedicated botanist with an MSc in Botany, Cytogenetics, and plant biotechnology. She has a strong foundation in plant biotechnology and keen interest in plant diversity, ecology, and conservation. She's an expert in biodiversity inventorization and aims to unravel the mysteries of plant life and contribute to their conservation. Himali works as a project executive here with us at Green Yatra, and she is with us here today to talk to us about indoor plants, something that all of us really love and really wish to have, but somehow always manage to, kill them. And today, Himali will give us a little bit of hints and tips on these indoor plants and how to grow them in our home and how to nurture and better care for them. So, over to you, Himali.
Yeah, thank you, Sandra, for the introduction. So let's begin our session about indoor plants. In this session, I'll be talking about the benefits of indoor plants, where all we can place this indoor plants, then carbon sequestration from indoor plants, then placement of these indoor plants, types of indoor plants, and then different containers in which we can place the indoor plants, then diseases that are caused to the indoor plants, and overall maintenance of the indoor plants. Okay. Beginning with the definition of indoor plants. Now, there are various definitions to indoor plants. Now, from a botanical standpoint, indoor plants can be something जो एक compact space में grow हो and which can grow in a container. So, indoor plants have the ability to thrive indoor and with limited natural light and controlled temperature. जैसे कि हम देखने जाए आउटडोर प्लांट्स बहुत बड़े होते हैं क्योंकि उनको उतनी स्पेस मिलती है ग्रो करने के लिए सो दे स्प्रेड आउट वैसे इंडोर प्लांट्स का नहीं होता दे गेट लिमिटेड लाइट एंड स्पेस so there is a limited growth to them. Then from a interior design perspective, uh, indoor plants can be something जो उनका विजुअल या फिर एस्थेटिक अपील एनहांस करे. Then from an environmental function, indoor plants can be something जो carbon dioxide absorb करे and oxygen release करे and they can purify the air. Then from a psychological perspective, indoor plants can be something that can help to reduce stress, increase productivity, and they can have a overall positive effect on the mental health being. Then next coming to the benefits of indoor plants. Now there are various benefits of having indoor plants. First is improving indoor air quality. So nowadays we see that air pollution in India is like a major concern. Cities like Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore have major air pollution crisis. So the air quality index in these cities is getting lower and lower. So these indoor plants can help to tackle the pollution situation. What they can do is these air indoor plants have the ability to absorb the pollutants and they purify the air. So they improve the indoor air quality. Next is enhancing mental well-being. So studies have shown that having indoor plants around can have a positive effect on the mental health and well-being. Also, it creates a connection with nature. Nowadays, we have lost the touch with nature. So indoor plants are like a good source of having the outdoor environment into the indoor environment. Then next is adding beauty and aesthetic appeal. Obviously हमको आजकल सब एक enhanced and appealing way में चाहिए होता है. So indoor plants can help us to get that appealing look. Then reduce noise. Indoor plants with thick foliages can help to reduce the noise levels and they like act as a natural sound barrier, so they can be placed in places where noise pollution is a concern, like offices or hospitals. Now, location, like where all we can have indoor plants. So in home, at home, indoor plants can create a freshness and beautiful appearance at house. In offices, indoor plants can boost productivity and they can improve the task performing activities. Then in educational institutes like schools, colleges, then libraries, having indoor plants in common areas can increase the concentration and students can have a better learning outcomes. Then in hospitals, it is observed that having indoor plants in hospitals can have a positive impact on the recovery of the patients. We can use indoor plants in decoration, like for the backdrops. Usually we use balloons and ribbons. So instead, we can use indoor plants. Then in restaurants and stores, having indoor plants in the common areas can enhance the ambience of that place, and it can also create an uplifting and welcoming atmosphere for the customers. Then coming to the question, can indoor plants sequester carbon? Sequester carbon means can they absorb and reduce the carbon levels? So the answer is yes. But the thing is, indoor plants are not the silver bullet to carbon sequestration as compared to outdoor plants. But it's like something is better than nothing. Indoor plants can sequester carbon, but not as much as the outdoor plants. So what is the concept is indoor CO2 concentration. It depends on two factors: occupancy level and the outdoor air supply. Occupancy level means how much the room is occupied, and outdoor air supply means how much is the ventilation in that room. So suppose we take an example of an office. So an office is occupied by many employees. So they exhale carbon dioxide, which gets trapped into that room. And we mostly observe that the office doors and windows are always closed. So there is low ventilation rate. So what happens is the CO2 concentration increases. So studies have found out that CO2 concentration up to 2000 ppm to 2500 ppm, that is parts per million concentration, is considered harmful for the health of a human being. Like it can cause respiratory diseases like shortness of breath or dryness of throat. And another challenge to indoor CO2 concentration is low relative humidity. Humidity means the moisture content of that room. So it is also observed that relative humidity up to 10 to 30% is considered to have harmful effects on the health. Like it can cause dryness of eyes, itchiness of the skin. So these can be tackled with the use of indoor plants. Indoor plants have the capability to remove the carbon dioxide and release oxygen during the process of photosynthesis, and this can also increase the humidity. And it is also known that the light intensity affects the rate of carbon sequestration. Obviously, if there is more light intensity, there would be more photosynth- photosynthesis rate, and there will be more absorption of carbon, thus aiding to carbon sequestration. Next is placement. We should consider the light requirements while placing a plant. So different plants have different light requirements. Place plants that need bright indirect light near windows where they can receive ample sunlight. Plants that thrive in low light conditions can be placed further away from windows or in corners with less natural light. अभी हमें कैसे पता चलेगा कि लाइट कहाँ पे ब्राइट है, कहाँ पे लो लाइट है? So there is a simple technique. Just place your hand from at 1 feet distance from the floor. अगर हमारी हैंड की शैडो बहुत डार्क है तो इट मीन्स दैट एरिया इज ब्राइट लाइट एरिया. अगर हमारी शैडो बहुत मीडियम है देन इट इज अ मीडियम लाइट एरिया. और अगर हमारी हैंड की शैडो इज वेरी लाइट देन इट इज अ लो लाइट एरिया. So by with this method you can like get to know ki where you are getting what kind of light and you can place your plants accordingly. Next is mind the temperature. Most indoor plants prefer temperatures similar to those we humans enjoy. So avoid placing them near drafty windows, heating vents, or air conditioning units that can cause temperature fluctuations. Then what's the humidity levels? Some plants, especially the tropical varieties, prefer higher humidity levels. So you can group plants together to create a microclimate or increased humidity, or you can use a humidifier to maintain moisture levels. Next is consider the airflow. While plants need airflow to prevent stagnant air, avoid placing them in areas with strong drafts or near doors that are frequently opened or closed. Then is space availability. Consider the available space in your home and choose plants that fit well in terms of size and growth habitats. Some plants like trailing vines are suitable for hanging baskets while others like tall palms need floor space. Then avoid direct heat sources. Keep your indoor plants away from sources of direct heat such as radiators or fireplaces as the direct air and heat can harm them. Next is provide adequate drainage. Always place plants in containers with drainage holes to prevent water from accumulating and causing root rot. Use saucers or trays to catch excess water and protect surfaces. Now, how will you know if you have correctly watered your plants or not? So there is a easy test on it. That is a finger dip test. What you can do is dip your finger into the soil up to about the knuckle, and if the finger comes out clean, which means your soil is dry, so you need to water your plants. And if the soil is moist, if your finger comes out wet, which means the soil is moist, you need not water your plants further. Then is aesthetic appeal. So choose plants that complement your interior decor and personal style, and consider factors like foliage, color, texture, and shape to create visual interest. Next is what are the different types of indoor plants that we can have. First is hanging plants, which you can suspend in the air. Then window planters and table plants. These can be the plants which you can place on the window panes or the tabletop, and which require direct sunlight and bright light. Next is floor plants, which do not require much of light. So these are the examples of a few hanging plants like pothos, which is also known as a money plant, which requires indirect sunlight and about 40 to 60% of moisture, and it can be suitable for placing at homes and offices. Then we have fern plants, which also require indirect sunlight and about 40 to 50% moisture content. And these are suitable for placing in restaurants and cafes to give an aesthetic appeal. Then next is portulaca, which has a vibrant color flowers. So these require direct sunlight and 40 to 50% moisture. And these are suitable for placing in homes, offices, or events for decoration purpose. Then next are plants that we can place in windows or on the tabletop, like crotons, which require bright and indirect sunlight and about 40 to 80% moisture, and these can be placed in offices and schools. Then we have spider plants, which require bright and indirect sunlight, and uh, these are plants which are like low maintenance. Like even if we water them once a week, they can thrive indoors, and we can place them in homes, offices, schools, and hospitals. Then we have Scavula tachyda, which requires a bright and direct sunlight and up to 90 to 95% of moisture content, and these can be placed at our homes. Then we have plants which can be placed on the floor, uh, like Dracena, snake plants, and rubber plant. So, Drasana, it requires bright and indirect sunlight, about 40 to 50% moisture, and it can be placed at hospitals, houses, offices, and schools. Then, snake plants, which requires low to high sunlight, and it requires 40% of moisture, and it can be placed at housing offices. Then rubber plant, which requires bright and indirect sunlight and 40 to 50% moisture, and it can be placed in hospitals, houses, and offices. So all these plants are native, and most of the plants are pet friendly. Like pets have a habit of like eating the plants, and they end up vomiting and having digestion tract infections. So we can have indoor plants like peperomia or spider plant, which are also pet friendly plants. Now talking about the containers in which we can place these plants. So we can have biodegradable and eco-friendly plant pots, which can be advantageous to the environment also, as well as for the plants also. Like we can have bamboo plant pots, coconut coir, which means the outer shell of the coconut has that natural fibers, so we can use them in the plant pot. Then, just like woolen threads, we can have macrame threads, plant potters, which we can specifically use for hanging plants to suspend them in the air. Then we have jute plants. So what happens is these all biodegradable in eco-friendly plant pots. These provide a good aeration and drainage to the plants. Next is plant diseases. So sometimes if we do not take proper care of our plants, so they are most likely to get diseases. So here are some few diseases that can be caused to our indoor plants. First is fungal gland. These are larvae that feed upon the plant root. So what happens is they damage the plant root, and overall they degrade the quality of the plant. Next is powdery mildews. It appears like powder, and it is a fungal disease which is caused to the plants. And then, similar to powdery mildew, is a disease, uh, but it is actually bugs. These are the pests which cause disease to the indoor plants. So these are mealybugs which feed upon the stems and leaves of the plants. What they do is they suck the sap from the plant, and they damage the plant. Then is leaf spot disease. So what happens is eventually you'll start seeing that the leaves of the plants are growing spots, and these spots become bigger and bigger, and eventually the leaf drops off. Then is root rot. So root rot condition appears when you overwater your plants, or if the drainage of the plant is not proper. Then what happens is the roots get rotten, and then overall they damage the plant. So, how we can maintain our plants and protect them from all these diseases is water the plants regularly, and do not overwater them. Then, like we had seen tips on how to check the water holding capacity, like how much water we need to pour. So, you can use that fingertip test to know how much water you're providing to your plants. Then avoid frequently moving your plants. Then add fertilizers. Now talking about fertilizers, it is not necessary that we use synthetic fertilizers. We can use fertilizers which can be homemade, or like it can be natural, like eggshells. Eggshells have high amount of calcium in it, so these like they reduce the soil acidity, Then banana peels. Banana peels have high level of potassium in it, and it can strengthen the roots of the plants. Then adding tea coffee grounds. Often in offices, we use tea bags. So instead of throwing the tea bags away, we can empty the contents of the tea bags or the coffee grounds into the indoor plant pot. So what they do is they act as a natural fertilizer. Then is Epsom salt. Epsom salt has a high level of magnesium sulfate, which is overall a good fertilizer and can give good strength to the plant. Then we can also have bioenzymes. Bioenzymes are sources of natural ingredients which can like provide good promote good growth to the plants. So we can prepare our own bioenzymes. What we can do is we can take 1 part of jaggery, 3 parts of citrus peel, and 10 parts of water. So, like example, if you take 100 grams of jaggery, we have to take 300 grams of citric peels and 1000 grams of milliliters of water. So you have to maintain this ratio, like 1:3:10. And with this, you can prepare your own bioenzyme and you can add to your plant pots. Next is if you can see in this picture that our plants are looking so messy because they are not pruned properly. So you need to prune the plants properly, and also if you feel that you don't want to prune your plant much, you can repot them. So for repotting a plant, what you can do is put some pebbles first, then add coco peat to it, then add compost and garden soil with a little amount of perlite, and then again a layer of coco peat on it, and then keep some empty space. You can also create your own DIY pest repellents, as we see that plants get affected by various diseases that include mealybugs and all, and larvae. So we can create our own pest repellent with the help of one onion, two garlic cloves, and 1 teaspoon of red chili powder. So what you can do is you can mix all these with water and let it sit in the refrigerator for 12 hours. Then what we can do is we can strain this liquid and fill it up in our spray bottles, and we can like keep spraying onto our leaves of the plants to prevent it from diseases. So Anthony Higgs has like beautifully captured the essence of having indoor plants uh, with around us by saying the quote that the best way to invite nature into your home is through indoor plants. Definitely, because indoor plants they promote our health, they aid to the environment by absorbing the carbon. Then it is like a good way of bringing the outdoor environment into the indoors. So overall, if you see, indoor plants are like natural examples of living environment in our surroundings. That's it. This was all about the indoor plants.
Thank you so much, Himali. This was a very interesting and very informative session. I like how you have not just spoken about indoor plants, but you have also spoken about so many other factors that are related to it, especially disease and watering. All of these are some very small but important things that we need to be mindful of when we are growing indoor plants. And to our audience, I would also like you to know that at Green Yatra, we also do full length sessions that will teach you how to make these bioenzymes, that will teach you how to make natural pest repellents for your plants, and all of these other DIY activities. So, if you are interested, do get in touch with us, and I really hope you enjoyed the session. Thank you so much once again, Himali, and thank you so much, all of you, for attending the session, and hope to see you next Saturday.